The monsters are going to visit relatives. They drive over many kinds of terrain, from highway to gravel roads. They're able to drive 40 miles per hour for 2 hours, 60 miles per hour for 1 hour, and then 20 miles per hour for the last 30 minutes. What was their average speed on their 3.5 hour trip? So, the first thing that I'm going to do here, I need to know that the kind of like way that we can find the average speed is kind of figuring out the total distance over the total amount of time. Because if I'm looking for speed, that's going to be miles per hour, which is like how many miles do they travel over how much time? So miles per hour. So to find, again, the total time we're given, it's 3.5 hours. Also, if we wanted to, like, we could see that we traveled for 2 hours in the first leg, then 1 hour, and then the final 30 minutes, which is just 0.5. So my total time is going to be 3.5 hours. And I'm not sure if this is true or not, but it might help us to put that in a fraction. So that would be 7/2. It might be helpful. It might not. We'll see when we get there. But so there's my total time. Now, total distance is a little bit more work here. So in this case here, if I'm going 40 miles per hour, that's 40 miles each hour. And if I go that for 2 hours, then that's a total of 80 miles for that part of the trip. Then 60 miles per hour for 1 hour. Well, I go 60 miles per 1 hour. So that's just a total of 60. And then 20 miles per hour for the last 30 minutes. I'd go 20 miles if I went for a full hour, but since I only travel for half an hour, that only gives me 10 miles in that last part. So to find the total distance, I just add all those together to get 150. And when I get 150, again, I have my total distance, which is 150 miles, over my total time, which is 3.5 hours. If I have a calculator, great. 150 divided by 3.5 will give me my answer. Hey, let's see here. It doesn't look like this is going to be a nice, pretty number. Let's just say, for just some practice here, if I put this as a fraction, what I could make it is I'd be multiplying by the reciprocal here, and then I'd get 300/7. And then, like, let's say that it was easier numbers and we could, like, start simplifying. That would be great and get my final answer. But really, it's just 300/7, which is not going to come out to a pretty number. I think, let me plug it into a calculator. 300 divided by 7. It's about 42.86. And that's our average speed in miles per hour. So again, this one we needed a calculator because 300 doesn't divide easily into sevenths. But we do get about 42 miles per hour. Now let's double check and make sure that makes sense, because again, if we started, at 40 miles an hour and then 60 and then down to 20, is our answer somewhere between 20 and 60? The answer is yes. So just to make sure we're using common sense, that answer does make sense.